Hi, I'm Father Jim Forson, and I'd like to share with you some reflections on the gospel of this 14th Sunday in Ordinary Time. You know, when I was ordained a priest 45 years ago, at my very first Mass, my family was all present, and my sisters told me of the disconnect that happened when, for the first time, they saw me in vestments up on the altar celebrating Mass. They said they went through kind of a time warp where, wait a minute, what's my brother doing? Isn't he the one who used to sleep with his teddy bear and now he's celebrating Mass? And it was a temptation for them to say, Jim, get off that altar right now and take those vestments off. And I get it, because I know with my sister Jenny, when she was in the Air Force, they were sending her off to Germany. And I asked, what are you going to be doing there anyway? And she said, I'll be developing the software and the hardware for our computer system so that the radar can talk to the missiles to shoot down any incoming missiles or planes. I said, didn't you used to play with dolls? This is what you're doing now? It was incredible. I would never have thought of my sister being like that, having that skill set. You know, sometimes we can be blinded by familiarity. And that's what we encounter in the gospel today. The people of Nazareth, where Jesus grew up, didn't know what to make of him. He returns home, and Nazareth would have been a small town, 60, maybe 100 people, and he lived there for about 30 years, so everybody knew everybody, and everybody knew him, but they didn't know what to make of him. He didn't do what everybody else did, what he was supposed to do, of follow his dad's profession and get married and have kids, and he's leading this religious movement, and he's working miracles, and now he comes home to Nazareth and he's proclaiming in the synagogue. They didn't know what to make of him. Like, you're not a rabbi, who do you think you are? And they even weren't just incredulous, they wanted to diminish him by slighting his heritage. They referred to him as Mary's son, not Joseph's son. They should have referred to the Father. They didn't. And so they weren't even just incredulous, they were disrespectful. They really didn't know the truth of Jesus Christ. They didn't know what was right in front of their eyes. And there's a truth in that for all of us. We can be blinded by familiarity, blinded by our expectations of people. Let's ask ourselves, how do we define, that is to say, know people? Well, sometimes we define people by their successes. They have the nice car, the nice house, a good family, lots of money, successful person. Or the opposite, we can define people by their failures or their sins. A divorced person, a drug addict, a prisoner, all of those failures in life. That's how we can define people. We can also define people by the degree to which they meet our expectations. And sometimes those expectations may be so unrealistic or so far away from who that person really is. Haven't we all seen expectations run amok at a Little League game where one of the parents is just berating their kid and, come on, hit the ball, keep your eye, get your head in the game. And we want to say to the guy, hey, take it easy, it's just a kid. And we've seen that kind of expectation run amok. I remember years ago, when I was a stupid teenager, I was with a couple friends of mine in a bowling alley, and we didn't know how to bowl, but we were just going having fun, just rolling that bowling ball down the alley and trying to hit a pin. But next to us was this young kid and his dad, and the kid was about 12 years old or something like that, and he was good. Just strike after strike after strike. And we didn't realize that there's a certain rules that you have to maintain in a bowling alley. And when somebody is getting ready to roll their ball, you're not supposed to roll yours. You have to wait. Well, we didn't know that, just dumb kids. And his son, this guy's son, was getting ready to roll, and we were rolling our bowling balls. And the guy comes over to us and says, hey, guys, there's bowling etiquette, When he's getting ready to roll, you wait. And when you're getting ready to roll, we wait. Okay? Well, See, that dad made a terrible mistake because he said that to teenagers. And we just started to run with it like, hey, come on, etiquette. Tuck in the shirt, will you? Come, hey, tie those shoes, etiquette. And this guy was getting madder and madder and madder. And then we saw that he was taking it out on his son. And he was just banging on him. Just, come on, get your head in this. Watch your form. And it was like, God, this kid was great. Wasn't good enough for his dad. And so we just backed off. And you know, I don't even remember the name of the bowling alley. I don't even remember what city it was in, but I'll never forget the look on that kid's face. That look that just said, what do I got to do to make you happy? What do I got to do to please you? Wouldn't it be awful if any of us, because of our expectations of another person, were to cause that kind of a look on another man, woman's face? I think if I ever did something like that, well, that would be a sin that would drive me to confession right away. I wonder, do we do that with God? Do we have expectations of God that He better fulfill? Are my expectations that God is going to reward the good and punish the evil? And I expect God to answer my prayers, most of them anyway, especially when I'm not even praying for me. I'm praying for other people that I know, and they're good causes. Like, you know, I expect God to do something about the world hunger and the violence in this world of ours, and disease, and dads that are berating their kids in bowling alleys. I expect God to do something about all that. And when He doesn't, or things don't work out the way I feel they should, or my prayers aren't answered, well, maybe I can find myself like those people of Nazareth, blind, really, to the presence of God in front of me, blind to His saving activity in my very life. You know, those people in Nazareth, they could not see the presence of God in Jesus Christ right in front of them. Their expectations and their familiarity with Him blinded them. I wonder, am I blind? God said in the book of Isaiah, as high as the heavens are above the earth, so are my ways above your ways, and my thoughts above your thoughts. There is a depth to people, a depth to God, of which I know nothing. And I think I need to leave myself open to God not doing things my way, obeying my commands, meeting my expectations, but leaving myself open to the depths of God. People in Nazareth were blind. Am I?